But the role of women in this authority-submission partnership was designed by God in creation and confirmed in the fall. What happened was Eve got out from under the protection of Adam. She was vulnerable. She was deceived. Adam was not deceived. He basically ate willingly. Why? She sinned because she was deceived by Satan. He sinned because he couldn't live without her. You understand that? She had become everything to him. And when the roles are reversed, the women are deceived, bad things happen, the men are made weak, worse things happen. The whole human race went down with Adam. You tamper with this order, chaos is unending. So where does that leave women? If men are in charge of everything, where does that leave us? Verse 15, 1 Timothy 2:15. But women will be, and the Greek verb here is sozo, which means saved. It's the very word for saved, like spiritually saved. Women will be saved through the bearing of children. There's the balance, right? You get to have the babies. You get to nurse the babies. You get to hold them in your arms. You get to spend every day with them. You get to nurture them. You get to develop them. That's your marvelous privilege. In reality, there is a depth of influence at that level that no man will ever have with his children. Now, what does it mean she'll be saved through the bearing of children? I remember when I was in Bucharest, Romania some years ago, there was a pastor's conference. There were about 12 or 1,500 pastors and their wives in this church, and they wanted, after I spoke a lot, they wanted to have a Q&A. So one of the guys asked the question, what does this mean, women to be saved through childbearing? And I said, well, you just blurted out, well, of course it doesn't mean spiritual salvation. It doesn't mean you're going to go to heaven if you have babies. You know, you don't get eternal life by having babies. So it can't possibly mean that kind of salvation. It has nothing to do with your soul salvation. And all of a sudden, the room got just dead flat. It was like somebody sucked out all the oxygen. And I could see confusion on the faces of men and women. And the moderator sitting next to me said, you just dropped a bomb. Because, you know, in our theology, you can lose your salvation. And one way a woman loses her salvation, they had been taught, was by doing anything to prevent a pregnancy. So that's how they misinterpreted that. That's why they all had 15 kids. And these poor beleaguered women, and they're looking at their husbands saying, you had to be wrong about that verse? Of all the options possible, couldn't you have been wrong about like sprinkling or something? So I spent the next 20 minutes sorting that out. And then those dear people, of course, they wouldn't want to reverse anything because they loved their children. And even with a faulty theology, they had done what godly women do. They had brought children into the world.